It all began on what was meant to be a simple, happy afternoon, the kind of day where laughter drifted in the air, music played softly, and family gathered, relaxed and content. But in celebrity life, appearances can be deceiving. Sometimes, the calmest moments hide the fiercest storms. This was one of those moments. The gathering started like any other. Teyana had invited close friends and family. Nothing fancy, just a casual, comfortable day. Aaron Pierre was there too, blending into the background, smiling more than usual, making small talk, especially with Teyana's children. He seemed patient, attentive, eager to connect. But in minutes, the room would shift. Aaron had been lingering near the snack table, chatting with one of Teyana's uncles, when her daughter approached. She was young but sharp, the kind of child who notices everything, even what adults think is invisible. Aaron crouched down, offering a playful compliment about her outfit. She giggled, at first amused, then paused. Witnesses said her expression changed. Her hands went to her hips, and in a voice sharp and clear, she declared, "You're not my dad." The words didn't just land, they hit. The room froze. Conversation stopped mid-sentence. Heads turned. Even the music seemed to dim. Aaron blinked, stunned, unsure how to respond. Guests exchanged glances, caught between curiosity and discomfort. Across the room, Teyana appeared, struck, as if the wind had been knocked from her. Her lips parted, but no words came. Aaron's face hardened, a mix of surprise and something tighter, unreadable. Slowly, deliberately, he placed his drink down and walked toward the door. No explanation, no goodbye, just a quiet exit. The door closed behind him, echoing in the stunned silence, marking a definitive turning point. In that instant, the raw honesty of a child had unleashed a ripple effect. Whispers sprang up in corners. Phones came out. Screens lit up. By morning, the story had leaked online. One guest hinted on Instagram about witnessing something intense at Teyana's home. Another tweeted cryptically, "Kids don't lie. Be careful who you bring around them." Screenshots multiplied. The story went viral. If you'd been following Teyana and Aaron's relationship, the moment might not have been entirely surprising. Their romance had been fast and whirlwind, beginning shortly after her split from Amon Shumpert. Fans were divided, some delighted to see her happy, others wary that it might be too soon, especially with children involved. Children, after all, are fiercely protective. No matter how charming a new partner might be, winning their trust is not simple. Early signs suggested tension between Aaron and Teyana's kids. Social media moments showed her daughter avoiding eye contact, slipping from frame in group photos, or quietly keeping distance when Aaron approached. Innocuous at the time, these incidents now took on deeper meaning. Insiders claimed Aaron confided that he felt like he was walking on eggshells, unsure how much authority he could assert without overstepping. Meanwhile, Amon reportedly observed the dynamic warily, though he remained publicly reserved. Sources said he worried his children might feel torn, pressured, or confused by Aaron's sudden presence in their daily lives. Blended families are delicate. Children may wrestle with loyalty and guilt, fearing that showing affection to a new partner could betray the other parent. The weight of that fear landed squarely in her daughter's declaration, "You're not my dad," behind closed doors. Reactions varied. Some insiders claimed Amon felt quietly validated, seeing cracks in what had seemed an ideal progression. Others worried about the emotional impact on his daughter, concerned the moment might leave lasting scars. Regardless, the incident quickly became the focal point of discussion, not just within the family but across social media, where fans dissected every detail. The public debate ignited instantly. Some praised the daughter's honesty and boundary setting, highlighting her courage in speaking truth, even publicly. "She's protecting herself," one comment read, "and maybe her dad's place in her life too." Others defended Aaron, arguing that blending families is inherently difficult and public humiliation is deeply painful. A few speculated that perhaps the child had overheard adults speaking negatively about Aaron and mirrored that frustration in her outburst. TikTok erupted with analyses. Creators slowed clips frame by frame, pointing out Teyana's frozen reaction, Aaron's clenched jaw, and the subtle prelude in her daughter's expression. Hashtags like #YouNotMyDad and #AaronWalkout began trending, drawing millions into the conversation. Every post amplified the drama, turning a private family incident into a public spectacle. Days later, insiders said Aaron hadn't returned to Teyana's home, choosing instead to stay at friends' houses and maintain a low profile. Teyana stayed publicly quiet, posting vague Instagram stories about loyalty and protecting one's peace. Aaron shared a simple black image with the words, "Respect is earned, not given." Fans read between the lines, convinced the posts were aimed at one another or perhaps at the tension surrounding the daughter. Privately, Teyana reportedly had a conversation with her daughter soon after the incident. Some sources said Teyana defended Aaron, explaining his significance in her life and urging kindness. Others suggested she listened quietly, reluctant to push, understanding the emotional complexity at hand. Either way, the atmosphere reportedly remained thick with unspoken emotions. Blending families is never easy, but in the public eye, every misstep is magnified. Aaron, according to sources, felt torn wanting to support Teyana yet blindsided and humiliated. Walking out of that room wasn't just anger, it was self-preservation. No one likes being called out publicly, especially in such an intimate context. The sting lingered, leaving some to wonder if it marked the beginning of the end for their relationship. Fans speculated endlessly. Some believed Aaron might fade from Teyana's life, maintaining civility but staying distant. Others felt Teyana would fight to maintain the relationship, unwilling to let a single moment define the future. Another factor complicated matters: the daughter herself. Insiders said she had told relatives she didn't want Aaron around anymore. If true, it posed a significant barrier. Choosing between a partner and a child is rarely a real choice. It's a collision of loyalty, love, and responsibility. What made the incident unforgettable was its suddenness. Relationships often end slowly, with arguments and miscommunications. But this was different. Lightning strikes sudden. One moment Aaron was engaged in conversation. The next, he was gone. The walkout, quiet and deliberate, resonated far louder than any shouting match could have. Silence sometimes speaks the loudest. Now, the question looms, can this relationship survive? Trust, once fractured, is fragile. When a child openly rejects someone, the bond is extremely difficult to rebuild. Even if Teyana and Aaron attempt reconciliation, the shadow of that afternoon will linger. Every gathering, every interaction with the children will carry the weight of those for words. "You're not my dad." For Aaron, those words may serve as a permanent reminder that no matter how close he comes, there is a barrier he may never breach. For Teyana, the moment underscores a deeper reality. Love isn't just about two people. It intertwines with the lives, emotions, and trust of those connected to them. She can post cryptic quotes or motivational stories, but the truth is she is caught in an emotional tug-of-war, torn between romantic desire and maternal responsibility. The stakes are immense. Every choice carries consequences, every decision magnified under public scrutiny. This is drama that grips because it is raw, unfiltered, and painfully real. The ending remains unwritten. Reconciliation is possible. Estrangement is possible. But one fact remains clear. The walkout, the silent, deliberate departure will be remembered as the moment everything shifted. Sometimes it isn't screaming matches or dramatic confrontations that fracture relationships. Sometimes it's the quiet, irreversible decision to leave. A door closes, a moment passes, and the person who walks away may not return. That afternoon, with its laughter, its music, and its fleeting joy, became a pivot point, a snapshot of truth, innocence, and the complex, fragile dynamics of love, family, and loyalty. Aaron's walkout, though silent, spoke volumes. For everyone present, the energy shifted. Conversations were hesitant, smiles tentative. The atmosphere, once light, now hung heavy with uncertainty. Guests whispered, speculating on the cause and possible fallout. For Teyana, the experience forced an urgent reckoning, balancing love and partnership with the trust of her child. The pressure of choosing correctly weighed on her visibly. Blending families is an ongoing negotiation, an emotional balancing act. Aaron, despite the humiliation, reportedly wants to remain involved and supportive. Yet the memory of being publicly rejected cannot simply vanish. The daughter's words are indelible, a barrier that may remain insurmountable. Teyana faces an impossible decision: protect her child's emotional comfort or nurture the budding relationship with Aaron. Every action now carries heightened stakes. Fans, always eager for drama, have painted multiple futures. Some predict Aaron's gradual retreat, maintaining distance while protecting his dignity. Others foresee Teyana striving to repair the relationship, unwilling to allow a single moment to define the entire bond. Yet, the most unpredictable variable remains the daughter, whose candid declaration has irrevocably changed the dynamic. That one afternoon, a seemingly ordinary gathering revealed hidden truths, raw emotions, and fractures in an otherwise ordinary family scene. Aaron's exit may mark a pause, or perhaps a turning point that leads to permanent distance. The room's silence, so heavy it seemed tangible, served as a reminder that relationships are fragile, trust is delicate, and the presence of children amplifies every choice. Ultimately, this is a story that resonates because it's real. It's not scripted. It's raw, messy, and profoundly human. And while the ending is unknown, one thing is certain: the walkout, the quiet closing of that door, will linger in memory as the moment everything shifted, a moment when words were not whispered, but spoken, and a silence spoke louder than any confrontation ever could.